Illya, over here! I was hoping I'd see you. It's mutual, I'm sure. What can I do for you? Oh no. The question is, what can I do for you? I've got something for you. You seem in a good mood today. Come to the library. I'll explain everything. I was coming to see you anyway. Be sure you do. Be seeing you, Illya. What was all that about? The mind boggles, Mistress. What's got him so worked up? He has found an excuse to talk to you, Mistress. I'm sure it's more than that. Hopefully I won't get waylaid by some random-ass person that says good faith to you. Good faith. It's almost like... Good faith to you. Seriously. Why? And it always turns me 180 degrees from where I want to be going. I was gonna say, it's like the professor. Good news, everybody. Good faith to you. Intriguing. Illya, you came. So, what is it, Huang? I just wanted to talk, you know, see how you were. Tell you what I've been doing. So, what have you been doing? I do a lot you might not expect. And I've come across something. It's not in my line exactly. I'm happy with my books. But I thought it might intrigue you. I'm listening. Only, well, does that thing need to be here? You mean sex? Could it wait outside? Sex, would you? Mistress, I will be outside. That's better. What did you want to talk about? Alright. It's from a mention in the Annals of Mazwai. I know I'll never convince you to read it. There's a part where the consular talks of a monastery of questions. The Annals are getting to be considered reliable. I'm quite certain a monastery is a real place, but no one knows where it was. No one knew. You mean you found it? Not found it. Of course not. Only, are you a looper, Illya? Do you go to the temple? Other than at funerals, I mean. No. The priests of the loop talk sometimes of a library, a place of great wisdom, a place where everything learned in one great year is held in trust for the next. It's the greatest treasure imaginable, the library of future knowledge. But you mentioned a monastery. Do you think your monastery is this library? I think it might be, yes. Surely the priests know where it is. Surely. You would think. But say they didn't. Then I'm certain they'd be looking for it. Do you know where it is or not? I do. Maybe I do. In the Annals, Mazwai says the monastery sits within the eye of knowledge. I suppose I always thought that was a metaphor. But look here, in the margin someone, a scribe, a monk, has scrawled a picture, like a swirl, with a tail. The ancient often used eyes to mean places in the nebula, like the eye in the cyclones. I never made the connection before, but I suddenly realized. The swirl is a river. It's a map. A a swirl with a tail. It's the shape in the rivers. The ancients built their library there, and then took that river shape to be a glyph in their script, the glyph that forms the word for knowledge. You really think so? Ancient books. Future books. Why didn't you want Six to hear this? It's the library of the Loop, Illya, their most precious and hallowed site. Six would tell Miari, and they would move the river and rock to find the library. Are you saying you don't trust the temple? Of course I do. I want you to find it. I know you don't believe in the Loop, but say you found it. Say you read its books. Say you found yourself among those pages. You would have to believe then, too. If I read a book from the past that described the present, if I read that, I might believe. Then go, and I will be here to talk about it with you when you come back. That's very generous of you. You're my friend, Illya. I want you to be well. That's all. That's it. That's all I had to say. I'd best get on with some work myself now. Criminy, dude. I have, like, a bunch of stuff to ask you. I'll let you know what I find. Although, I'll need to find out a bit more first. Mistress, there you are. Did you learn anything of use from Master Hong? Perhaps. We'd better take a look. Six, remember the empty tripod I found on the last Emperor's hideout in the Cyclones? I wonder if it had once held a telescope like the one Xia said Remba dug up. What if Zhang Qi was collecting the telescopes? Observatories, telescopes, there must be a connection. If these scopes were perhaps in communication with each other, Mistress, and that enabled Remba to locate one from another, perhaps their connection to the observatory might be similarly traceable. I believe it was fixed. That would imply... The scope Renba found in the buried boat led him to the hideout. The scope he found there might have led him on, but then his ship exploded. If only there was a way to find out where he was going. There probably is a way. Don't talk to me, woman. Let's get off this rock. This way, Mistress. Alright. Zwang, not particularly useful. There's something here, really? See, I can see a viable surface. A pre-Empire site. Well, we did call it Sculptor Cave yet. That must mean it's where they've sculpted things, I guess.
Sometimes when you find a place, you find it overflowing with humanity, with life, with joy, with family, with struggle. Flames that burn so brightly they can still be seen as dancing shadows, hundreds, thousands of years later. And then other places are not like that.
Sometimes it's better to find places with nobody on it. This moon is barely habitable, Mistress. It seems unlikely it was ever occupied. Perhaps something happened. What could have happened to this, Mistress? The soil here is rock dust. The air is no more than backwash. Nothing has ever grown here. A metal rail. A track. Were they quarrying? Mining? Or just carrying away the spare rock from the carvings? An overturned cart. It's just like the one on the dig site when we met Sia. There's an inscription. Just above the dust. These symbols look new to me. Oh, they are. Mistress, the cart is upside down. Right, of course. Do not stop work? I thought this place made sculptures. This doesn't seem right. It's also very windy. It seems to be a black fragment of canvas. It looks like something from the Age of Sail. In the cloth, there appears to be embroidery, Mistress. You are welcome in Sky. It said that this comes from the same source as the Sextant de Del Crystal. This should help us work out where to look for the Age of Sail site. Cool. What is this place? Here. It's an opening. It will be dark down there, Mistress. I will try to stay close.
The wind died as we entered the tunnel.
This looks like where he found stuff. It opens up ahead.
The air
Yes,
was
Mistress.
ice cold and smelled of rust.
Like, this might be where Renba got his mining equipment from. Although he could have found it on the quarry. The quarry. The other quarry.
Then we came out into a wide open space. Through all the murky dark, I could make out shapes, clinging like spiders to the rock.
Well, I don't think I was expecting this big of a setup. I do not like it here, Mistress. Yeah, it's not half creepy. Ramps. You noticed. Of course I noticed. Ramps mean robots. This place wasn't made for people at all. That would make sense, Mistress. Robots would not object to the conditions here. So, did they use robots to make sculptures? Can robots do that kind of thing, Six? After a fashion, Mistress. What do you mean, after a fashion? They can reproduce structures from internal representation, Mistress. They are less good than humans at holding chisels and reaching up. Do you think robots made the sculpture on Mayercy? No, Mistress, I do not. The carving of that statue was frankly average. Any chance there are still some robots here? We could ask them what they were doing. There is every chance, Mistress. I was buried on Iox for some considerable time, and it did not impair my functionality. Alright, before we go down there, up there, there's some things over here. Mistress, the chasm in the rock appears extremely deep. Proceed with caution. Rock and earth. I wonder how many people it took to carve one statue. One artist working alone for years, or an army of workers. Either way, there must have been people working here for long stretches of time. But why would anyone live here? This place is terrible. just to work? How did anyone live here? There's nothing. No water, nothing. Crates. If we could open these, it might tell us what this place was for. But they're nailed shut. I haven't seen construction like this before. This site is older than the Empire, Mistress. Older than Iox, at least. How can you tell? The materials and joinery appear complex, metal interlaced with stone and clay. Significant engineering skills must have been lost. We knew knowledge had been lost. I mean, look at you. But I wonder where it all went. There must have been a way across once. There are buildings over there. Storerooms? Barracks? I thought this place was used by sculptors. I was expecting an artist's commune, not whatever this is. Can I look at the thing? No, I literally have to walk all the way around over here to look at it. No, we're not going to clamber across the cart yet. Because then 6 would be mad at me. But I would like to see what's inside here. A control room? Well, this looks more familiar. Some kind of panel. Positioned with a view out over the chasm. I can't see how it would work, though. Any inscriptions? None. I would have expected something. No doubt whoever used the panel knew what it was, Mistress. Can you operate it? I can try, if I may. The functionality appears simple. Let me see. Yes, I comprehend. What did you just do? Haha! The control requires me to stay in proximity to it, Mistress. Otherwise, it will reset. Then stay where you are. I'm going to explore. Perhaps do not do anything rash, Mistress? I'm never rash, thank you. This one's been broken open. The wiring's been ripped out. Why would someone do that? To make it work? Or to stop it from working? I'll be right back. Well, first of all, this broke open a box. So let's go have a look at the box. There's an inscription just above the dust. There's no dust. But it's upside down. I know. Whoop. Let's try together we are strong. I'm thinking there was a robot rebellion. That's what I think. Here's something. There's something here. An ornamental chunk of hardboard from a mast, dating from the Age of Sail. Look at the carvings. Someone took time over this. It's been inscribed. Read? Look at stars and dream. This comes from the same place as a fragment of canvas I found here earlier, I think. This should make the Age of Sail site easier to find. Almost closed, but stuck on something. An inked nebula chart. I would guess it dates from the Age of Sail? I hardly recognize any of these river shapes. But that central swirl must be the Iox spiral. And there's something written on it. Palace of Goddesses? I don't think that's right. A name for Iox, perhaps. The center of all things. Most likely this comes from the same source as the chunk of mass fragment of canvas. Make the Age of Sail site easier to locate. Well, thank you. Nebula weeps blood, you see. Probably. What was this place? A mine for some kind of core resource?
Once, I'd found a hangar underground on Elbereth.
I hope these things were soundly built. 6. Scaffolding. Used to winch things up from further down to be loaded into carts and carried outside. Let it go, 6. I still cannot reach you, Mistress. The iron cart has moved. But there is a gap I cannot jump. Can't you hopper over the gap? Is there an eye? I cannot hopper without an eye. I am not magical. Just don't look down, Illya. This isn't Elbereth. There's no tent canvas to catch you down there. Easy. It is good to have you back, Mistress. Let's see. The broken panel we saw, Mistress. Maybe it was broken to keep something in. You think there's a monster down here? There are no monsters here or anywhere else. I await your alternative explanation, Mistress. Look at what we did, 6. Looks like a beetle. I hope we didn't smash whatever was inside. Too badly, anyway. This is definitely a mine. Overseen by robots, but worked by hand. So much for your precious ethical core, 6. Robots can't have worked a mine. There must have been people doing that. While robots oversaw it. Let's see, can I rip this panel off, I wonder? The rest of the way. Negatory. There's gotta be something to put across that gap. But maybe I'll go explore because it's probably over on the other side. Why are you... Thank you so very much for the choice, Mistress. Perfect. Mistress! Unbelievable.
A narrow shelf of rock jutting from the chasm wall. Grey buildings watched me with empty eyes.
So there's new panels for 6 over here. Presuming I can find a way to get them across. There's gotta be a way. I was gonna say, can I walk up in here? Because I should be able to. Cloth. Beds. There must have been whole families down here. I suppose it was obvious there were people here. What would robots do with all this? Hello. Crack in the stone. What is this place? Well, robots were used as overseers, and the people rebelled. Like the ones in the Emperor's graveyard. A grave. Or a grave marker, anyway. This is a memorial to those that died. Hundreds of people. How do you know that? Symbols precisely cut into the stone. Such delicate work. Say a laughter in your sleep. This is a memorial. There's no reason to build bricks in here. To build a wall over rock. But each brick is carved. Names. Marked in the Elberethian way. Hundreds of names. There must be 200 to 300 of them. The ones lower down are older. What is this place? Not gonna take the board. It's good to be out of there. Pick up this board. No. Pick up the door. There's just a bunch of pillows in here and nothing else. Really? I literally can't pick anything up. These panels seem different. They've been sliced open, like someone wanted to get at the wiring. Surrender hope. Let's see. If I get my hand in under here... Got it. And if I twist here, I think that's going to hold. Well, then... Okay. Maybe this will figure it out. Because now 6 can come across up that way. Only I can't get there. On my way, Mistress. That should hold. Mistress, I feel stuck. Well, unfortunately, I don't think I know how to help you. I am somewhat stuck here, Mistress. If the walkway's in place, but I'm not. Okay. Don't worry, robot. We got this. I will be with you shortly. Good. Then you can work the wires. Mistress. You made it across? The walkways are most stable, Mistress. Impressively engineered. I still believe we should hop her back, however. Alright, buddy boy. Stay by this panel, 6. Don't follow me. Mistress? Mistress, I do not approve. Don't sulk, 6. There's no other way I'll get across this chasm, and you know it. It's perfectly safe. Probably. Six, raise this walkway for me. Ooh, those are symbols. I see symbols in the rocks. Can you hold the control long enough for me to go down, 6? I can, Mistress, but I do not know how much the ramp can take. If you must go, please do not be slow. Don't break the control panel, 6. And you watch your step, Mistress. There are
Deep
holes.
pits had been cut down into the rock, while overhead, a natural opening yawned into space.
Look at these, Illya. These rocks are laid out as glyphs. Save us? I could still change my mind, but save us? The people who worked here, they were trapped. Did the robots leave them down there? Their precious ethical cores. That's definitely a pit. Let's not fall into the pit. It seems to go on forever. It doesn't, of course. But still, I wouldn't want to fall in. Let's see how deep you go. Still falling. The loneliest clink echoed back up the shaft. That's a long way down. Deeper than any statue could need. What have we got? This is a sculpture, fashioned from crystal. It looks like something from the Age of Sail, and there's some inscribed characters in ancient script on it. We belong with gods above. Maybe the ancients believed gods sailed the rivers. Or perhaps people sailed the rivers and the gods lived somewhere else above that. Rivers over rivers. I'd hazard that this comes from the same site as the chart and the chunk of mast I found here before. Presumably people who've commonly frequented both these locations. Maybe there was a ladder here. There isn't now. There's something carved inside the edge. That's complete. Work is life. That's a strange motto for a sculptor. It's because they're not sculptors. Well, I mean, they are sculptors, but they're not artisans. One tiny rock, and you can't walk over it. It's kind of weird there's still Bunch of lanterns hanging up that are lit up. Seems a bit bizarre. Mistress, I will not be left behind. If the people on this moon were trapped, if the ramp was never lifted for them, where are the bodies? Down here? I appear to be trapped, Mistress. Please wait a moment. 6. Hopper back to the ship. Mistress, we have found our 4 promising artifacts here. We've also discovered enough to exactly locate one new location, an Age of Sail site. If you wish me to activate the hopper now, Mistress, I will. Let's get out of here. I think I've literally done everything. And I wanted to explore that without him being around, because then I didn't have to explain why I found a memorial. So we left the searches of the ancient mind. Ancient mind. Not mind. Blah, blah, blah. Board the Nightingale. That place. The scale of it. The design of it. I wonder if there was a period before the Holy Ioxian Empire when robots were commonplace. When they ran things even. Now look at that inscription I found. It sounds pitiless. People at the mercy of the whims of an ethical core. Statistically, it is very sensible. A large number of robots could comfortably control, maintain, and organize society, leaving humans free of that burden. Although I admit there would likely be problems in individual cases. Poke the gecko. And let's get out of here. Let's start sailing.